Trailing off the southern tip of the Sunshine State like the tail of a comet, the Florida Keys are a land apart. Long the subject of great writers and the retreat of great dreamers, it's tough to describe the Keys without lapsing into cliches. They are Florida's diamond necklace, America's own Caribbean islands, the edge of Florida, the last stop heading south before Cuba. To sportsmen, the Keys are the sport fishing capital of the world and a diving destination of unparalleled diversity. To tourists, the Keys are a real attraction, not some Disney-fied confection made up of fabulous seafood, unique shopping, and total relaxation. To free spirits, the Florida Keys are the Conch Republic, the last refuge of true freedom and independence in America. Video Vacations welcomes you to the best of the Florida Keys. Join us as we take a drive across the ocean from Miami to Key West. It's only a 3.5-hour drive, but for many who have started this journey, it has turned out to be a one-way trip and a lifelong love affair. Leaving Miami at the southern end of the Florida Turnpike, we are immediately confronted with a decision. Do we stay with the traffic and follow US 1 to Key Largo, or swing off onto the toll road to Card Sound Bridge? No question. Taking the road less traveled, we are immediately immersed in the feeling of the Keys. Things are slower here, and we can take the time to check out the crab house perched precariously between road and water. You can cast out a line anywhere along Card Sound Road. The fishing starts here and never lets up. Approaching the Card Sound Bridge, we come upon the legendary Alabama Jacks, a very rowdy place to spend a weekend afternoon. To the south of the bridge is the Ocean Reef Club, a private enclave for the rich and famous. At Ocean Reef, we make our first acquaintance with a Keys local, the bottlenose dolphin. At Key Largo, Card Sound Road merges back into US 1, and from this point on, our way is measured by these green mile markers. All directions through the Keys use these mile markers as reference points. As you travel through the islands, these signs are your only addresses. Taking a slight detour north at US 1, we proceed to the north end of the Jewfish Creek Bridge to stop in at Gilbert's, the first of a seemingly unbroken line of marinas and tiki bars that dot the Keys. Gilbert's is the traditional beginning and end of a trip to the Keys and is a good place to watch the boat traffic on the Intercoastal Waterway or to take a spin on a jet ski. Just slightly north of Jewfish Creek, we come across Blackwater Sound. This is the entrance to some of the best backwater fishing found anywhere. The brackish waters of the southernmost expanses of the Everglades National Park contain abundant schools of trout, snook, snapper, and the silver king, the tarpon. Backcountry fishing guides operate out of a number of North Key Largo marinas and are essential for the first-timer venturing into this territory. Camping is permitted. However, consult with the locals as to the rules and regulations. The best time to enjoy the Everglades National Park's backcountry experience is in the winter, when the mosquitoes are dormant. This time is an experience for the true sportsman. Heading back to Key Largo, we pass the Caribbean Club, location for the Bogey Bacall flick, Key Largo. It's a little on the rough side now, so enter with your eyes open. In many ways, everything you want of the Florida Keys can be found in Key Largo. As the home of John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park, Key Largo is the epicenter of Keys diving. A day or a weekend at Pennekamp can be full of the things that make Key Largo famous. Start with a glass-bottom boat ride. From this floating observation deck, feast your eyes on the only living coral reef in the continental United States. For the more adventurous, the Dive Master makes 2 scuba diving trips a day at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. If your pleasure is camping, there is tent space and RV space available. Reservations are accepted 60 days in advance for camping. While at Pennekamp Park, enjoy the snorkel beach or the sandy swimming beach. Boat rentals include canoe, Hobie cats, sailboards, and various power boats. Don't miss the visitor center with its 30,000-gallon saltwater aquarium. A trip to Pennekamp is not complete without visiting the spacious gift shop. So remember, in Key Largo, the John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park is one of the best places to visit, whether you dive or not. Key Largo is the epicenter of Keys diving. Divers can explore a variety of reefs and wreck dive on sites like ancient Spanish galleons or the newly scuttled Coast Guard cutters, the Bib and the Duane. Supporting the divers are a fleet of top dive boats and shops. One of our favorites, Captain Corky's Divers World. A family-run operation, Corky's has 3 locations, a pair of boats, and as an extra added attraction, full instruction in underwater video.
This is the place to come.
How long are you down here for?
About 3 days.
Yeah. All the way from New Hampshire?
Oh, all the way from Cole, New Hampshire. Skiing last weekend, diving this weekend.
Which is better for
We'll
you?
take the diving. We'll take it. We're here right here with Corky.
Across the water from Corky's dock, we get a first-hand glimpse of the Keys lifeline, the seafood industry, at Key Largo Fisheries. The job of assembling the traps for the Keys spiny lobster industry is never-ending, and the yard behind Key Largo Fisheries is one of many places to watch the process. No ticket required, just amble up and say hello.
When you go talking about the water here, see, that's where my work is. So it's that's where I do my work out there. I build my own traps. Me and my son-in-law, we fish together. Lobster's what I fish for. Yeah, it's the only kind of fish I ever fished for, except once in a great while I might go out with somebody on a ballyhoo boat or mackerel boat.
By the way, tourists accustomed to Maine lobster will notice something missing with the Florida spiny lobster, which our neighbors in the Caribbean call crawfish. The claws. Don't let that put you off, though. By whatever name, Florida lobster is delicious. For those who prefer a little distance between themselves and the sea, the answer could be a trip on a glass-bottom boat. The Key Largo Princess, operating out of a slip behind the Key Largo Holiday Inn, is just one of many such boats, a good way to see the sights while keeping your feet dry. Many will argue that the best thing about the fish of the Keys is not catching them or watching them, but eating them. We agree, and so we head to the Pilot House in Key Largo for a Harvey's Special, the best fish sandwich in all the Keys. By law or by custom, the official end to a day in the Florida Keys must include a cold libation and a super sunset. In Key Largo, you can start off at Coconuts, the home of the best happy hour in the upper Keys, and then say goodbye to the sun at the Quay, or Sundowners. The Quay, with 3 locations throughout the Keys, is recommended for light music and great food. For the ultimate sunset, though, Sundowners is hard to beat. Their rum runners aren't bad either. We love Sundowners. Life is easy in Key Largo at the Key Largo Sheraton Resort. You can ski if you want to, but mainly this is a spot for kicking back and relaxing at the venue of your choice. Pool, beach, hot tub, whatever. Key Largo also has a newly remodeled Holiday Inn. As you enter the plush tropical lobby, a Caribbean feeling engulfs you. There's a new look in dining at the terrace room with a great view of the freshly landscaped pool area. For the curious, there are 2 famous boats here, the African Queen from the great Bogart Hepburn movie, and Henry Fonda's 1951 mahogany Chris Craft, the Thayer 4, from the movie On Golden Pond. The gift shop at the Holiday Inn offers guests a sample of Keys souvenirs. Another great gift shop in Key Largo is Largo Cargo. This open-air shopping wonder is full of the things you want to take home from the Keys, including the largest selection of Jimmy Buffett clothing found in the upper Keys. Above the store is a unique artist's haunt. E.J. Smith uses sea-weathered driftwood to create his original dockside scenes. Each piece is carefully handcrafted, and each is a treasure from Largo Cargo at mile marker 103. Moving south from Key Largo, the next major settlement is Tavernier. Tavernier Creek Marina on Tavernier Creek between Key Largo and Plantation Key is a typically excellent full-service marina. Tourists, lured by the siren song of the sea, can rent a boat from one of the Key's largest rental fleets and then go inside to stock up on all the necessities for life on the water. Just a few miles further south, at mile marker 87, Plantation Yacht Harbor is a deluxe marina resort. Even if boating isn't on your itinerary, you'll find plenty to do here, whether your favorite sport is a friendly game of basketball, a few sets of tennis, or serious beach recreation. Brunch at the Plantation Yacht Harbor is serious business too. It's hard to beat the build-it-yourself omelets they dish out on demand. Another culinary treat is close at hand at Marker 88, a gourmet restaurant on the Gulf side of Plantation Key. Stop here for a world-class meal. More like a colony of artisans than a gift shop, the Rain Barrel just south of Tavernier at Marker 86 is a must-see. Here you'll find the product of potters and a goldsmith, along with other interesting crafts. Perhaps the most interesting tenant of the Rain Barrel is furniture maker Jack Kapler, who operates Renegade Wood. A true product of the Keys, Kapler takes what nature provides and turns it into museum-quality furniture, designed to last.
You want to use something that's going to protect the wood, and tung oil will protect against water, alcohol, termites, mildew. Four of the key things down here you're trying to fight all the time. And it'll never change the color. You'll always retain the true color of the wood with that preparation. And, it takes about 20 coats to get it that way, but after it's done, you don't have to worry about it ever having to be repaired or fixed or anything like that.
A purist at heart, Kapler rarely signs his pieces and follows a simple design formula.
I don't do that much to it, you just carve away what doesn't look like the table, and you end up with something.
Little Windley Key, between Plantation Key and Long Key, is the home of a Keys doubleheader, Holiday Isle Resort and Theater of the Sea. At first glance, Holiday Isle looks like the ultimate sensory overload. There's just too much to take in here. Weekend afternoons will find the beach wall-to-wall with toasting, bikinied bodies, and the crowd heading into the world-famous Tiki Bar. Holiday Isle also maintains a full-service marina and rental fleet and offers scuba trips as well as charter fishing. But mainly this is a party place where you can take in a market atmosphere, munch fresh pizza, and generally have just as much fun as you'd hoped you'd have when you headed to the Keys in the first place. Holiday Isle is also the home of one of the Keys' best backcountry fishing fleets. Travelers with adventure in mind can use Holiday Isle as a departure point to the southern end of the Everglades National Park. A mere half-mile away, Theater of the Sea replaces the big top spectacle of larger marine theme parks with an up-close and personal approach that reflects the character of the Keys themselves. Here, if you want to talk to the dolphins, you just walk up and introduce yourself.
Yes, you just tell a story. Come on. Yes, tell us.
Hand-feeding sharks and turtles is another feature of Theater of the Sea, as is a ride on a bottomless boat. Then comes showtime, where the dolphins amaze and amuse with their intelligence, grace, and power. But the best thing about Theater of the Sea is that if you take the notion, you can get in and swim with the dolphins. One of several sites in the Keys to offer this unique experience, Theater of the Sea makes you a part of the show and gives you memories that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Another genuine Keys article is H.T. Chittum's, a sort of high-tech general store for the nautically minded. Panama hats, fishing tackle, and clothes for the gentleman sportsman are just a few of the offerings at Chittum's. You might find some of these items in a catalog, but it's a lot more fun in person in the Keys. Continuing south, the fishing is excellent when you head out with the charter fleets at Whale Harbor or Bud and Mary's Marina. Just ask the tourists or the locals.
Some of them were up to 40 pounds, like this one here. And we caught some cobia, up to 25 pounds. And we released a lot of jacks and bonita, and fishing's fantastic.
We could see this kingfish.
That lucky lady that caught it.
Yeah. They're gonna cook it right here for her, or is she gonna?
They'll cook the fish right here, or most of the restaurants in town will cook fish for people.
Yeah?
Yeah, they all have this you catch them, we cook them deal.
A full day aboard one of these boats costs as little as $20, and all the equipment you need to haul in the big ones can be rented for a nominal fee. A Keys landmark on Isla Morada is the Green Turtle Inn. Famous for its canned soups and fresh seafood, the Green Turtle Inn is also one of about 1,000 restaurants that claims to make the best key lime pie in the world. Only thing is, they might be right. Campers will find the Florida Keys a special treat. While there are many commercial campgrounds, perhaps the two best spots are state-run facilities, Long Key and Bahia Honda State Recreation Areas. While both are open for day use, it is the camper who gets to take full advantage of the placid life at water's edge. While the many resorts of the Keys offer every amenity, to camp here is to really experience the Keys lifestyle. Vacations are what you make them, and these campers at Bahia Honda think they've found the best there is.
This is great.
Yesterday we had some great pelicans out here we were feeding. It was wonderful.
Fond memories.
As we close in on Key West, the fishing action continues unabated. The dolphin catch at Calusa Cove is impressive. Further south, the Duck Key Lodge explodes with the rich colors of the tropical Keys and even more fishing. It's home base for a big dolphin tournament, but the kids will get as much fun throwing out a line off the bridge as the tourney anglers will bringing in the big ones. As the mile markers descend into the teens and below, we hurry to this singular, quirky outpost at the bottom of Florida. Key West is Florida's answer to Bourbon Street and Cape Cod, to Aspen and San Francisco. A mere speck of an island, barely 4 miles by 1.5 miles, there's no place to hide the vibrant history that sculpted Key West. American entrepreneurship, led by the visionary Henry Flagler, brought first the overseas railroad and then the highway to town. Flagler's mark is seen everywhere, particularly in the mammoth hotel, the Casa Marina. Now a part of the Marriott chain, the Casa Marina is one of the very best hotels in town. Spanish trade vessels of the 16th and 17th centuries had to pass through the Keys. Many of them never made it. The result is legendary riches at the bottom of the ocean waiting to be salvaged. One Key West-based treasure hunter, Mel Fisher, made his score when he located the Nuestra Senora de la Atocha with its $400 million motherlode in 1985. Many of his trophies are now on display in Key West, and the gold fever continues. The island's critical position in the ocean has shaped it in other ways. A 600-boat shrimp fleet is based here, and Key West is virtually ringed by forts, like this National Historic Monument, Fort Zachary Taylor. Certainly it was the lure of the sea and the incredible Keys fishing that drew Ernest Hemingway to Key West. Papa spent some of his most productive years here. His house is now open to the public. If you really want to share a piece of Hemingway's soul, however, you'll head down to Duval Street and hoist one at Sloppy Joe's or Captain Tony's. These were the saloons where the great American author met the characters and sipped the drinks that shaped much of his work. Painter and naturalist John James Audubon is another who found Key West inspirational. He first came here in 1832 to record the birds of the Keys. He worked at the Geiger House, and it contains many of his original engravings. Tours are operated by the Audubon Society. But if history is all you want from a vacation, then you just go to a museum. Key West is far more fun than that.
Il fait toujours beau à Key West. Très très beau.
Despite being completely surrounded by warm ocean waters, Key West still doesn't meet the definition of a classic beach town. Barrier reefs protect the island from large ocean waves. This does two things. It keeps away the surfers, and it prevents the natural formation of beaches. Thus, any beach you see here is man-made. Perhaps the most beautiful Key West beach is the park next to Fort Zachary Taylor. A little isolated from the mainstream action, this one is for the reader and solitude seeker. For party time beaches, the best bets are the municipal beaches nearer town or the patches of sand at the classier resorts. The municipal beaches come closer to the carnival atmosphere of a California beach. Volleyball and a strand full of attractions make these a good place to lose yourself for a few hours. Key West's resorts, like the Reach and the Pier House, have carved out their own little swatches of sand. Here you have easy access to sailboards and all the amenities of privileged living. The compact size of Key West and an easy pace for living make getting around the island a simple task. First-timers are advised to take the trip of the Conch Tour train. In the course of a leisurely circumnavigation of the island, the train gives you a capsule history and passes most of the points of interest, including the southernmost point in the United States. Mr. Key over here brought the conch shell for you. Listen to this. The sound that you're listening to is coming from the shell. Give me a round of applause. I'm going into that shell for us right there. Thank you. The Conch Tour train gives you a good guide to some of the less obvious charm of Key West. You'll learn about the curious architecture and gingerbread trim that characterizes the old sea captain's houses, and get the lowdown of the foliage of the island, including the fiery poinciana or flame tree and the beautiful bougainvillea. Back on Duval Street, among the sights will be the beautifully restored Holiday Inn La Concha. This is one of the best places to stay in downtown Key West. After your Conch Tour train trip, you can choose to get around on Keys bicycles, complete with baskets for shopping, or on the always popular mopeds. Both are available for rent at numerous locations around the island. The Old Town Trolley is both a tourist attraction and a regularly scheduled trolley service. Tourists take it to see the sights. Locals running errands count on it for its reliability. Key West shopping is centered on Duval Street, and if you can get past all the t-shirt shops, you will find some truly unique Keys items. You should stop in at the Key West Cigar Factory and watch an artisan hand roll a cigar. A visit here is like stepping into another country in another century, as the age-old tradition of hand-rolling cigars from the finest tobacco leaves continues. How good are the Key West cigars?
It's the highest classification from the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm Bureau. And in order to keep that class, you have to use 100% tobacco and have to be handmade. Any other thing goes lower in the classification. So it's about the highest class of cigar you can get.
Just a short way down the street, the Keno Sandal Factory turns out custom-fit sandals, guaranteed to give you a case of happy feet. Best of all, they're still just $5 after all these years. Restaurants in Key West are like the tides. They change from day to day, season to season. Last year's favorite hideaway may be this year's overpriced inn spot. Ranging from great to mediocre, finding the best restaurants of Key West is a challenging task. Make it easy by asking the locals. They always know the best values and best cooking in this village. Some of the best restaurants when we passed through included the Buttery, La Di Da, Coconuts, and the restaurant at the Pier House. With all these great diversions, the #1 activity in Key West is still partying. Though there are seemingly hundreds of great open-air bars for afternoon drinking, the official start to the day's party comes at the end of the day, the sunset ceremony at Mallory Square. Mallory Square is the best place to watch the sunset in Key West, or at least that's where all the action is. Taking the best aspects of Venice Beach and Times Square, the Mallory Dock is a gathering spot for Key West street performers. From Mallory Square, the party rolls into the night spots that line Duval Street. Most popular is Sloppy Joe's, but there are plenty of choices, including a newcomer, Margaritaville, the product of the Keys' favorite son, Jimmy Buffett. From fishing to partying, that's the best of the Florida Keys. We've done our best to show you the best places to go. But what we can't put on videotape is how the Keys feel. What it is to be wrapped in the warm, soft Caribbean breezes, to be surrounded by the delicious fragrance of hibiscus and honeysuckle, and to be chilled out by those delicious rum runners. These are things that you'll just have to experience for yourself. But beware, once you've felt the Keys, real life will never be the same again.
This program was produced and licensed by International Video Projects Incorporated of Lakeland, Florida. For additional information about this program and other programs we offer, please write International Video Projects, 6700 South Florida Avenue, Suite 28, Lakeland, Florida, 33813-3312, or call toll-free 800-852-0662. Our collection of programs may also be reviewed on our website, www.videoprojects.tv. Thanks for watching.